Welcome back, one and all, to the LANADA Leaf for Penalty Grand Finals. After 2 long days of blood, sweat, tears, a lot of toil, we have finally Grand Finals. Perhaps many would have anticipated this outcome, but we do have Ooh La La playing up against No Time. Both teams scrapping their way through both days, establishing an undefeated record to get here, and we are getting off on the right foot here with an Imy's Epic. Notably, there's Knife's Edge. Maybe there's some Theory Crafters here. Maybe we'll see a couple Knife's Edge pickups, but my guess would be a lot of creation slop to start things off here.
Absolutely. It is still Imy's App, though. Not exactly the creation slot favored map, and with Atlas and Root actually taken out with these bans here, those are kind of like the two biggest bans of Timeless Creators. So, but the third biggest one right here, we got Dubu, probably taking that Timeless Creator. But this has famously been Knife's Edge best map to ever use it on, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. Knife's Edge is not nearly as good as it was. It's largely considered a pretty fake awakening. But if there's any time for somebody to pick Knife's Edge, it would be on Imy's App.
This Ooh La La team is low-key might be taking the triple Knife's Edge that we're seeing. Estelle pick 1, Luna pick 2. This is always, so it's probably Katsuna on the Luna. That was allowed. That was putting in some havoc earlier on in the bracket and on a map where it's so easy to get killed from multiple angles. That could prove to be quite potent. And then we are seeing the Mako to round out the Ooh La La triad. Probably one would assume that is falling onto Frightfully Fresh, but I would not put anything past these players at this point. On the other side of the field, a bit of an orthodox comp as well. That said, I feel like the Dubu and the Asher are kind of flexing. I can't necessarily put a finger on who I'd reckon would be in between the sticks. I guess it comes down to whether or not No Time has a Dubu brawler, but I'm not entirely sure if they do. My anticipation would be it is Dubu in between the sticks, but given that the draft is finalized, we won't have to speculate for all too long. But are you seeing any latent win cons developing for either team here, just based off of character picks?
Honestly, not particularly right now, but if I had to take place a bet with 2 pennies on which team is probably going to get KOs, it's probably been Estelle on Luna, because that Estelle is definitely going to be Joker on that Estelle. He loves the Estelle brawler, and on a map like Imy's App where Estelle actually has a pretty good dash punch with the Quangle, and I think Joker is of nowhere about the Quangle. So I'm not going to be surprised if we see some KOs with that. And on top of the Luna as well, that Curdy Maker becomes so much more dangerous when there's a hole in the middle of the map. You really have to be careful with that. And honestly, there's definitely a lot of reason to burn the base against this team, with Mako Cage being something that you have to worry about. And, well, maybe not so much on Estelle's kit. You can't really react to Estelle's dash punch. It's very scary in that way. And although it's not technically true in the earlier sets, the moment that Estelle gets a little bit of power, that Quangle can become really threatening, because not only does it become a true combo, it also kills it a lot farther. So I'm honestly kind of curious to see if the Joker and Katsuna might go for a double pumps angle here.
I wouldn't put it past them. I think they've proven adept at playing damage thus far in the tournament. I forget when it would have been, but there was one instance, it might have been in the round before quarterfinals. I don't even remember who they were playing. It's been a long day, but they were absolutely farming KOs for fun, so they could honestly revert to that sort of primordial Unga Bunga damage state. But we will see briefly. I am hitting tab. It is a battle of good and evil. On the right side, we've got triple Timeless Creator versus triple Knife's Edge. I guess, we'll see which philosophy prevails here as we get off and running. The Joker contesting for possession in the middle of the park, but a good series of interactions from Leo, Leon, and Co. are enough to put some early pressure onto Frightfully Fresh's net, but it is batted back up the other side of the pitch. This Mako just looking to retain possession. Here comes Katsuna, proccing the Knife's Edge. That might have actually gotten them out of trouble there, but I'm not necessarily a knower. In any case, everyone's swarming bot playing. Both teams kind of poking and prodding here, not making any flashy plays just yet. And as we tick towards the halfway mark in this first point, nobody's quite taken a barrier yet.
Yeah, Luke trying to make his parents proud right now as he gets a KO on the Joker. The Estelle brawler not really looking like they're really real right now, but barrier is actually taken on behalf of Hungry Boy right now. Turret is up. Leo Leon strikes it through. Frightfully Fresh, but Mako secondary not quite able to come up in time, because there's actually a delay on that now, so it can't be casted instantly, and they get the first point. Leo Leon looking pretty strong.
Good start to life here if you are a member of No Time. Exactly the sort of front foot they want to get onto. They're looking to continue to search for, but Hungry Boy not necessarily in a good position to put the offense, but here we go. Interesting energy uses across the board there. Hungry Boy blowing the flip without much ROI, and then Leo Leon presumably blowing it for survivability. I wasn't really paying attention to that corner of the map, but it does mean that the energy economy has shifted decidedly in favor of this blue team. Excellent angle found by Katsuna to unlock the gate. Luke now left all by his lonesome. Granted, it's not too tenuous of a situation given a Dubu who is sitting that close to flip. Here comes Hungry Boy trying his best to leverage that timeless creator value to take the barrier all by his lonesome, but without Leo Leon, it's going to be a losing proposition, especially with the Joker coming back to help. It's interesting to see that there's a bit of like a, oh good god, crazy save, Luke. Anyways, I'll continue my point before passing. It's interesting to see that there's a bit of a midfield flex going on between Katsuna and Joker. Joker not necessarily hard Estelle brawling as he sometimes wants to do. He's definitely also coming back on this defense.
For sure, and like once again, it's like the Joker is a more core control oriented brawler here, and it definitely comes out with their picks like their bit more unconventional style brawler here, where they're not really brawling as hard as they are just kind of being a double midfield, and when the situation calls for it, they are a brawler. But right now, it seems like Leo Leon is the patented brawler of this game, as they're already up 2 on the Zombies Apps map.
Playing better and winning more is Leo Leon. Interestingly enough, Joker opting not to flip there, either anticipated that that would be strikeable or is perhaps just saving energy for the next point. In any case, it does mean that No Time has come to a really early advantage here. They are already sitting on set point and could be setting themselves up for some really nice scaling should they be able to land the plane. Joker taking a great step in that direction, taking the barrier with the core flip. Granted, he is not looking too great in the stagger and or energy department, so could be a bit of a sitting duck for the time being. All the while, the play is kept decidedly away from him as Katsuna and Fively vie for a barrier, the flip not coming online quick enough to prove useful, and that is a pretty decisive 3-0 take to start things off here in Grands.
Absolutely, just, oh man, I don't remember the team, but like basically returned to form, but like with Luke in the net, honestly, they're just doing a really good job. They look like that they want to win this Grands, and with like the missing 3-0, it definitely seems like that can happen. Hungry Boy, first pick of the litter here, goes for Prize Fighter, which is honestly pretty disturbing because, honestly, like, this, unfortunately, the knife's edge for the other team here, they are trying to use it to the best of their ability, but it's really been a struggle, and honestly, with that prize fighter, they could definitely be getting punished if they do keep hugging those edges, and they're going to really have to watch out for that in the coming sets.
Here they go. This blue side looking to shake off an early loss of momentum against the 1 seed. And conversely, 1 seed definitely beginning to take care of business as you might expect them to do. They continue to fold this momentum into a really good barrier take, unable to force the issue just yet. The goal remains unscored. Luke finding a nice, smart clear around that Luna rocket to make sure he holds his own barrier. And is now opting to fly. Here he comes. Does opt against it, and perhaps it was Sage because he just lets Hungry Boy take care of the scoring. A great glitch, a great cyber swipe is enough to keep the pain train rolling.
Absolutely. Hungry Boy has been doing a very good job in designing right now, and with a lot of very well-known midfielders kind of retiring from Dazzle, I feel like Hungry Boy is pretty up there. He is kind of like definitely has the potential to be like a really strong midfielder in the upcoming seasons. And right now on this LAN event, he's looking like he is really strong as the combined effort of Hungry Boy and Leo Leon are able to take the Joker once again off the field.
There we go, and capitalizing on the power play brilliantly is the side of No Time. That looks like my Diamond Games right there. Unfortunate wall to kind of kill the power play in its tracks. Luke also losing the barrier, kind of going from bad to worse, especially Hungry Boy missing the strike is really exacerbating things. Luke now taking it all into his own hands, surging forward, looking to fly. Instead, opts to feed the corner to Leo Leon, who makes the right decision, feeds it into the turret, and Hungry Boy getting the final goal attribution. A really good recovery from what was a really sticky situation, and wow, yeah, this Ooh La La side is still yet to score.
Absolutely. Luke had a really good core flip there. Not only was it a defensive core flip, but the forward duo was able to set up the corner offense, and then Luke used the core flip, sent the offense, or sent the core on the upper side of the field, and immediately Leo Leon and Hungry Boy had to set up on a silver platter, able for them to score, and honestly, that's the kind of core flips that you want to have coming into this game, and it seems like that they're really coring on this offense right now.
And yeah, the corner chaos ensuing. The flip is forced out of Frightfully Fresh dicey situation, which is just about navigated by this blue side goalie. Things getting a little dicey. Opts to put Leo Leon into stun, which frees up the Joker for the pass. Joker trying to go all by his lonesome to make something happen, but it's just so untenable. He's dead. He is dead. Excellent recognition of the situation there. Leo Leon was in the right place to lay down the law with that ult and establish yet another power play. Katsuna is desperately trying to defend alongside this Mako goalie. They do get it out, and here comes the Joker looking to counterattack. Is not able to do so, though. This Dubu is so large, it's just so hard to work it through him, yet they're trying their darndest. Here comes Katsuna working into the Joker, but Luke holds his resolve, is winning a couple of really key strike wars, and continues to frustrate this Ooh La La offense.
Absolutely, and I know this happened a while ago now, but Leo Leon with a crazy backwards pass footer, that was a really good forward back footer right there, but unfortunately nothing happened. His Hungry Boy actually off the field now, but a lot of bodies are about to be flying. And actually Katsuna taken off the field now, but yeah, like Leon has been doing so many backwards pass flutters, but right now he's sending to a top side like a beast, as now it is looking like another 3-0 set. They're currently 6-0 coming into the third set here. And once again, I'm going to bring up this again, but they just kept cutting me off with their crazy plays. But Leo Leon has been going for so many backwards pass flitters, and it keeps working. Like, this guy is like kind of scary of like how unconventional he is, and he manages to get away with it every single time. And we're seeing Dubu take away the Deadeye from the Luna.
We're seeing the trappings of what could be a route here. Should the side of Ooh La La not be able to get some smart pickups here? And I mean, it's not helping your case when the Asher's allowed to take the size. Maka, Frightfully Fresh rather, responding with some size in turn. But all in all, I mean, all told, it really seems like this No Time team got the better of the draft there. Maybe barring the suspect pickup from Luke of the Deadeye to just ensure the block. I mean, otherwise they're sitting pretty, especially regarding Leo Leon. He really seems to be the beating heart of this team thus far. Another backwards primary. This guy is low-key not even playing the core half the time. He is just interested in damage. And it's paying dividends. I mean, surely he's laid down a lot of kills thus far. Here comes Hungry Boy all the while. A little more focused on the core, but still not able to land the plane. Leo Leon now getting into the mixer. Everyone's moshing here in the topside J corner, but nothing comes of it. Once again, as we're ticking towards the middle of this point, no breakthrough just yet.
Absolutely. Luke has just been an absolute iron wall minus what just happened, but this person has been doing such a good job at not getting scored on, because here's the reason why they are currently 6-0, and it's not because that Leo Leon and Hungry Boy are running a masterclass of an offense. Luke is also running a masterclass of a defense as well, as despite the fact that they are in an open net scenario, they're still holding it down pretty comfortably, and as with a beautiful somersault roll, it continues to be the story.
Of course, we could get Illuminati, but a brilliant evade clear from Luke is enough to get that thing out of dodge. To say nothing of the timing, to not accidentally hit it back into the primary, but does accidentally hit it back into the secondary. I guess you can't be too perfect. The Joker not complaining. He laid the trap, and it worked. And finally, after a string of 6 concessions on the bounce, I believe, or it might have been more. No, 6 concessions, give or take. I don't know numbers. But they finally stopped the bleeding. This Ooh La La team is now looking to hopefully snowball this into a couple more goals. But once again, Luke robbing the Joker blind of a really key court flip there. And now he's going to have to be so cognizant of his life. Leo Leon swarming this poor Estelle like a hungry shark, smelling blood in the water. Here comes Hungry Boy trying to get it on the fun too, landing a cyber swipe into the Joker. I like how Katsuna dashed up to keep the ball away from the Joker. They do not want this guy interacting with the core right now, and it's no surprise why. All the while, Frightfully Fresh is doing his best to hold down the fort, and now should be able to do so with the core flip. Maybe not that way, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, unfortunately, angle there. Barrier is lost, and Leo Leon, honestly, both the brawlers at this point have just been playing for their lives this entire time. It's kind of a miracle that neither of them died, and it's actually Katsuna that's taken off the field now. Leo Leon and Hungry Boy with the power play. Overtime is about to be hit. Sends over to Luke. Nothing is quite made of it. Hungry Boy is almost dead, but Leo Leon almost gets the point, but not quite. Almost killed Frightfully Fresh as well, but nothing did come of it. Now power play is over. Luke almost loses the barrier, but once again, an on-point somersault keeps the core alive, and now it is time for the offense to start. Rotate is successful, and Hungry Boy was able to catch the core as Leo Leon was able to send it to the top side, and then Hungry Boy was able to secure it after that.
I mean, excellent holding, especially by the side of no time there. Luke is on point with these reaction rolls. Those are hard to hit because not only you have to react, you have to aim that thing, and the dude who roll hitbox is less forgiving than you give it credit for. I mean, that's just something I've observed. All the while, the game does not wait for me. Chaos unfolding in our midst. Leo Leon being forced to do a bit of emergency goalieing here. All the while, Luke steps forth into the midfield, does lose the barrier, but trades barrier for a kill onto the Joker. That said, this blue side is all too content to just take their time, stall out the clock, and they almost just about do so. Yes, they do. Brilliant boys angle found around the back to make sure they hold on to the barrier through the personnel disadvantage. And then now this Ooh La La side is looking to potentially get out on the offense, but they're inviting a lot of pressure into their arc, you must say. And here come the cooldowns to try to assuage that situation. They do. The nuke is enough to get Leo Leon off the map for the time being. Luke doing a good job to stall out the power play, though, with a good Tofu Fortress. But the ball does creep forward, and it is found in Luke trusting his strike a little too much once more. And that is, for the first time ever in this series thus far, a lead in a set for the side of Ooh La La.
Ooh La La not only getting points this set for the first time ever, but they're actually in the lead now, and honestly, rightfully fresh. Like, honestly, everybody on the team has been looking a lot healthier, being able to finally take advantage of that knife's edge. They're not dying as often. They're playing for real life so much better than before. Like, we saw Joker live for like a full minute before overtime hit, just being able to survive all the cooldowns being put on him. But unfortunately, right now, Leo Leon and Hungry Boy are just doing such a good job on the offense. They look like that they want to bring this to 0.5 right now.
Oh, that was a butt clencher. They chose to struck it right into Leo Leon. That guy can react. Perhaps it was a bit more wise to go corner there, but my eyes could be deceiving me. In any case, what it does mean is as soon as we started gassing up this Ooh La La side, they go ahead and allow them scores to be leveled here, and it is now actually match point for the side of no time. I wouldn't have figured I'd be saying that this early, and maybe I won't be saying that for that long, because here comes the pressure. Luke doing good to hold his nerve there, hanging on to the flip. All the while, chaos is unfolding on bot lane. Hungry Boy forced to play his life, as is Katsuna. Hungry Boy getting in the mixer at a very opportunistic time, though, finding the kill, establishing the power play. Finally, Flesh cannot grab the orb. Okay, does build up to the flip at a bare minimum, but this is not where you want to use it. That's not the angle you want either. And that is a clinical game one take by the side of no time. And they are now within one game of claiming all of this.
Man, what an insane game. They almost got the first set of their own game. They showed signs of life in the last few points there, but unfortunately it was not enough. Just a very unfortunate clear from front plate fresh. Not only they tried to pick the 90, but unfortunately it ended up bouncing off the Amizap pole, and then it bounced back the hands of the other team, and they were waiting graciously as they were able to pass it around frightfully fresh pretty easily after that. But honestly, it was not a bad game on their behalf at all. Like, the first two sets were really rough, yes, but they, like, every single one of those points were a heater. Like, all of those were going over to overtime. Like, they were playing their heart out, but genuinely, Luke was just holding it down like an absolute beast. Like, he has 52 redirects, most redirects in the lobby. Not only was he doing a good job at, like, not losing his barrier and not getting scored on, but he was doing a good job at contributing to the offense too, which is honestly a pretty comfortable thing to be able to do, because once you are in that position, you're in that, like, flow state where your team is winning comfortably and the goalie can walk up, like, when they start positioning like that, it's really hard to come back. And considering the fact that they were getting so many KOs as well, like, that's 9 KOs across the board for return to form, but not really, just like with Luke and the goalie net. They did a really good job at converting off of those power plays, and that's why, like, the first two sets were 6-0. It's because it was clinical. They got the KOs, they got the power play, and then they got the barrier and they scored. And that's exactly what they had to do. And that's why, like, Luke's job was low-key pretty easy, because it's a lot easier to defend the net when there's only 2 people on the other team.
Definitely. I think he had a nice time of it, but to say nothing of the fact that he was called into action. I mean, 52 saves to 56 saves means the differential between the goalies wasn't all too much. What is worth noting is the redirect differential, though, and the assist differential. I mean, so there were 9 goals scored. That means Luke was involved in the scoring of over half of them as a Dubu, which is not necessarily something you see every day, but I think also the fact that he got 30 more redirects onto Frightfully Fresh means that one goalie was definitely able to help affect the offense more than the other. And that raises concerns about how this Ooh La La side should adapt going into Game 2. because it's difficult for them to kind of assert themselves going forward. Maybe that was just difficulties playing around damage. Maybe it was difficulties core control. But yeah, I'm not too sure what the diagnosis is just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And Amizap is a bit of a wild card in terms of map pools, and I'm not sure whose pick this was, but if I had to take a prediction after how that game went, it was probably RTF. So
you gotta stop calling them RTF. They're not RTF. They're
no time. That's right.
No time.
Yeah.
RTF is nowhere to be found.
Who's RTF anyway?
We're calling it audible. We're trying to figure out whose map pick this was. It was No Time's pick. Okay, so No Time took them to their pick and put on a clinic. Okay, that's pretty cool. That means what it will mean is that there's a bit of reprieve for the side of for the side of Ooh La La, rather, because now they'll at the bare minimum be going to their map pick. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but at the very least they picked it, so they rate themselves on it. I'm thinking maybe Mako wasn't the move. Maybe Mako's not the move into an Asher. I feel like she was just struggling to hold into Leo Leon. That might have also just been symptomatic of the fact that Leo Leon his team happened to be in power plays constantly. So maybe it was not the most optimal situation nonetheless, but it just did seem like this Luke Dubu was able to deny so many more stuffs than Frightfully Fresh was able to. So I think that's another interesting point of contention.
No, I definitely do think that is definitely another recipe for their success here, because I'm going to be honest, how Mako holds stuff down is they have 1 million hitboxes and they want to stuff it through you that way. But when Asher just pops Pass Splitter on you or uses Asher Primer in your face, it's just all of that doesn't mean anything to her. She just is going to stuff it through you and you can't do anything about it. So I don't think that the Mako character is a great matchup for into the Asher here. And on top of the fact that it was Amizap and they were getting a lot of kills, I do think that that's kind of how the offense was so successful. But I'm kind of curious to see what the second map is going to be. I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing a Taiko Temple, because that seems to be a pretty popular map pick in the pools and the LAN event so far.
Taking a look. Do we know map 2 for the viewers at home?
It should be 10, but it is Inkies.
Okay, we're going to Inkies.
Ooh, okay.
We are going to Inkies. Okay, interesting. Glad to see that rearing its ugly head in a grand finals. I do understand why this Ooh La La team picks it. I think it's historically been a great map for them. I think Frightfully Fresh especially seems to be particularly strong on this map. To say nothing of the Joker, I think the Estelle Brawler is even more potent on an open map like this. So I think very understandable why they might blow their map pick on this one. And I'm anticipating a closer game, perhaps not a longer game because it's Inky's Splashdown, but definitely I think it's going to be a more tightly fought contest.
Absolutely. Considering the fact this could be a shorter game, despite the fact that the last game was a 3-0, I still believe it, because it is Inky Splash Zone, but this is the map where everybody gets for 5-second clip farm points, and it definitely happens on this map. And honestly, once again, the Joker, definitely a very, very good player, and might be the best brawler to ever do on Inky Splash Zone. His pool honestly is reflected perfectly, as well as his playstyle. Honestly, he's a very stuffing focused brawler, I would say, with a mix of brawling and damage and all that other stuff. But I'd say he's mostly known for his ability to stuff and score on the brawler, or the goalie, not the brawler. That's not as hard of a challenge, believe it or not. But the Joker definitely very comfortable on this map, and I feel like Katsuna has a really good pool too, because I saw that Juno from Katsuna in the last series, and that was low-key kind of disturbing.
Yeah, I also believe Katsuna, it was in an attempt to block Salisi earlier on. I think it was in the seeding match way back when. They also pulled out the Juno on Inky Splash Zone. Wow, parallels. And it was doing particularly a really good job snubbing out clears. So should Luke be forced into those tricky 50-50 decisions and opt to hit it up or down, long side, I think that Juno could really come into play. In any case, we are getting into draft, and as you would expect, Kai is insta-banned, no hesitation. Ooh La La not interested in picking him up, so they will make sure that he cannot be picked up by No Time, and it'll be interesting to see how they respond with the ban of their own. And there's the Katsuna Luna.
Yeah, Katsuna Luna, definitely not a stranger to getting banned out, not gonna lie. I'm pretty sure it wasn't this season, but it was the season before where that Luna was almost perma-banned. The pick ban presence with Luna and EKC in season 6, I'm pretty sure, was kind of uncanny. I think it was 100% or something crazy like that, which kind of tells of how like comfortable he is on that Luna character, and it's not that surprising. And we're actually seeing a Atlas goalie pickup from, I believe, Ooh La La, which means this is going to be
That's
perfectly fresh on the
yeah.
goalie. With a Siege Machine start as well, I think that's going to be pretty comfortable coming into this map.
Yeah, I think name of the game is kit dumping on this map. Fresh, I think, no stranger to Atlas on this map. Atlas is also just a good pick on this map. I think he's the one lockdown that can kind of get it done, all things considered. It is interesting that they're choosing to first pick him. Are they that concerned? Like, maybe they were that concerned of a Luke Atlas, but for all you know, he may not even be in the first 2 picks for this no time side. I guess we'll see. I doubt he's on the Asher. That's definitely Leo Leon. I put money on it, just being reversion to the mean here. It'll be interesting to see what complements it. I mean, it could be, I don't know, it could be a whole lot of things. Asher tends to synergize with a lot of things. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they just try to deny the Estelle here, but they do just stick with their guns. They lock the Imi, and it does mean that the Estelle is free to be picked should this side choose.
Yeah, and we're seeing our classic Rastel forward duo combo here from Ooh La La, and that is Katsuna and Joker, correct? So that's going to be honestly a very, very comfortable comp on behalf of both of those people, honestly. Even though they haven't probably run it with each other very often, it's more like Shionzu and Joker kind of running that. I think that they're pretty famous for that, but still, Katsuna Estelle is very strong, and although it's not a Juno, I feel like Estelle is honestly stronger on this map, because Kai and Estelle are kind of like the kings and the queens of most open maps, and that's no different on Yankee Splash Zone. Once again, I'm looking at this right now, and it's like Estelle and Dubu, or no, it's still Erasmus versus a Dubu goalie most likely, and I feel like that's pretty comfortable on this map because this is a map where you can definitely pass around, and with the amount of hit stun that they have to be able to like punish whatever like Dubu does, it's like the one you pass around someone, you just kind of like hit stun them and you get the barrier, and that's a pretty comfortable way to go about it. And with the Siege Machine start, I see a lot of people who can honestly take it, but I feel like Rasmus might be the only person taking this Berserker here.
I would probably second that notion. I think Dubu, going forward, maybe doesn't get the most value out of projectile range, but that thing is definitely going to be useful on goalie, especially in such an open map. It just makes you able to deny space that much more. It is interesting that Luke has stuck to his guns his entire tournament. I don't think I've seen this guy off Dubu. He is married to this hamster. And even on a map where maybe some would say he's a little suboptimal, yeah, he's just sticking to first principles, rocking the Dubu. You must respect it. He's definitely been making it look like a good character thus far. Oh, W fake pop to start things out here. It's all good. OS, broken old game, just means we'll be a bit delayed heading into this next point. But yeah, I think I will say I'm liking the comp of Ooh La La just a smidgen more here, mainly just because they have an Atlas. I think he's just a little more potent on the O-line relative to a Dubu, and I don't think Luke is going to get as much value going forward as he was on Imi's app, unless he builds Giga Ice Skates.
No, absolutely, and once again, Atlas Spatial Expanse. Very good creation holding it down against the beam. Now, Tofu Fortress, that's a bit of a different story. Me personally, I'm not a big believer in putting that down. However, I have seen a couple of funny clips where people will put the Tofu Fortress down at the line where they're Inky's beam will usually kill you to save their teammates. Now, that really is ever applied to the real game, but hey, I feel like that's more practical than trying to use it to just stuff it defensively normally.
Right. I mean, knowers know that you just wall backwards and it's all good. But in any case, I do think perhaps the more consistently offensive goalie being locked in by this blue side here. It is interesting. There's not as much mobility as you would have gathered here on this. As much mobility as you would have assumed would come out of an Inky Splash Zone comp. But I mean, No Time is unbeaten thus far, so they're definitely in it to win it here. And they just need to notch one more win to take home the big cash prize and the bragging rights of being S-tier winners. I believe. No, there's a cup. I think Leo Leon is an S-tier winner, but everyone else on that red side, Hungry Boy 1 and 2. Okay, it's just Luke. It is just Luke who's in the running for a first S-tier win here. My B.
Absolutely, and look, it's looking like they're pretty hungry, just like they have been doing so well, so consistently this entire time. Once again, been playing the Dubu the whole time. I'm actually kind of surprised that they didn't ban away this Dubu, but like once again, why even think about the Dubu when Hungry Boy and Leo Leon have just been like locking it in. 22nd point, not the fastest point ever in Linky Splashdown, but that's definitely no laughing matter.
Low-key, that's probably within like a standard deviation of the median Inky's point. This map is a trip. In any case, Luke being forced into the defensive really early on here, ups to log to just stall for time, allow Leo to reposition and begin looking for some kills. Unable to find him, but they do get the Joker Giga low. He's forced to help defend, all the while Katsuna is surging for. Also, I don't think we registered that it's Katsuna, Estelle, Joker, Rasmus. Interesting. But in any case, they are still pushing this offense.
Ooh.
They do get it through. A lot of busting, button pressing was required, but they get it through. Luke is dead. If there were a time to score, it would be now. Here comes the beam. Hungry Boy does not flip. And that is a goal much quicker out the gate than previously. And that is exactly the kind of comeback you want from this Ooh La La side.
Killing Luke off the edge like that is definitely the kind of miracle plays that you need to be able to win this series, and it only takes a trickle, as they say. If you're able to ride that momentum, that's really good for them. But once again, 2 core flips on behalf of like no time right now. It's looking really comfortable for them as they get the beam, but nothing quite comes up, unfortunately. But that beautiful core flip from Leo Leon, rightfully fresh, unfortunately, did not use the core flip for that. But honestly, with Katsuna also having core flip, I think it's pretty reasonable to save both of those for the next point.
Right, and that's not to mention the Joker is like 3 strikes away from getting its own. So, I mean, the energy situation, one team very bereft of it and the other kind of rolling in it. That said, Frightfully Fresh was forced into an early expenditure there, having to flip for the sake of his barrier. Now might be forced out of the rest of his kit, but is not called out to such an extent that the secondary had to come out. The Joker and Katsuna now establishing possession, unable to find the right stun onto Luke. This guy is a wall. Katsuna almost getting walled off the map, is forced to blow the flip, and that could be curtains for this midfielder. Here comes the live out of Fresh, and is actually up the other end of the pitch. There goes Hungry Boy. The pink midfielder is actually the first one to die here. Power play in favor of Ooh La La. They do a good conversion there to get the barrier. They're struggling to break through, but here comes the beam. Could shake things up. Leon forced to keep his distance, all the while the 2 forwards of this blue side charge forward. They just can't get anything as we approach overtime.
Absolutely. Joker definitely having his job cut out for him right now, as like Luke honestly still doing a really good job. It's actually overtime into Sneaky Splash Zone of all maps right now, but a beautiful laser straight line from Katsuna sends it into the top side, and we are in 0.5 in Sneaky Splash Zone.
That does not happen every day of the week. It seems like a very feast or famine map, but here we go. I mean, this Ooh La La side has come to play. I think the map choice buff is definitely coming in clutch. A little unfortunate to not get any live value. Frightfully Fresh now out of a cooldown for the next 20 or so seconds, all the while the damage continues to be piled onto the Joker. Is now kind of having to straddle up around the middle of the field, playing really conservative vis-a-vis his life, all the while Frightfully Fresh loses a barrier, now being asked a tricky defensive question. Here comes Katsuna to lend a helping hand, and Joker cements the counterattack, gives this blue side a bit of reprieve by stunning Luke and allowing that core to roll onto the other end of the pitch. But just as soon as it was batted away, it comes back, but Leo Leon misses the execution by just a smidgen, meaning we persist in this point. But this could be curtains, but the flip is right at Frightfully Fresh. Power play in favor of Ooh La La. Can they make something happen? Leo Leon micro-spacing, playing so conservative, but the passing play is impeccable. Katsuna and the Joker get it done, and they look to get forward here. Hungry Boy back on the map just in time to make the save. Frightfully Fresh being forced out of a lot of his kit, but no one has scored just yet. A lot of damage coming out of that secondary, but it seems like there's a bit of the lull in the play here as neither team's able to get their hands on the core.
Absolutely. We're deep into the overtime now in Inky Splash Zone right now. Joker and Katsuna trying to form offense against Luke. Beautiful whiplash, but unfortunately Luke is actually able to evade it on time. No hit stun is great. Whoa, crazy glitch pop. Almost gets it in, but it goes wide. Nothing happens. That spatial is looking really scary, but it's actually stable as now Hungry Boy now getting punished for not being low and having a lot of evade. Like almost like core flip, but is not able to use it if they aren't able to get this orb. Yeah, evade is burned. And now Joker is also looking really low now. Core flip is in fact.
Oh, he missed the double, but he passed it!
Oh, crazy beam from Katsuna is able to get the point, and now they're up. And despite getting 3 out of the last set, they're actually the first one to get the set here. And now Hatsuna on the Estelle is the MVP.
I don't know if that pass was intentional. I think he was looking for the dangle, but life finds a way. There we go, a first set take for this blue side. Katsuna, pick of the litter, opts for the mobility, no questions asked. We'll see if the Joker is deciding to size max here. All the while, Luke picks up the team player. That is what you want to see. Atlas responding in turn with another really potent goalie pickup there. Infinite cooldowns. Rasmus ultimately puts the fries in the bag, gets the wreck zone. All the while, Leo Leon builds survivability. So I don't think any game-winning things happening just yet, but that team player is definitely scary.
Well, that team player on Inky Splash Room of all places, on an open map, that's super aggressive. Yeah, that team player is pretty scary. And both of these teams have honestly been doing a really good job at, like, focusing their damage on one person at a time, because it's always either like one person, like we have Joker getting staggered right now, but earlier it was like Hungry Boy was getting staggered on one team. Like there's always one person on the team that's super low, and they're kind of like chipping away at the other team as they do core control, and like once again they're just trying to get this power play started against Hungry Boy, and they're trying to like force a power play, and then after they get that power play going, they're trying to like get everything happen afterwards.
Rightfully Fresh being forced into the backline. Crazy read. Excellent play. Leo Leon's bluff called. And that is a great way to prolong your life in this first point. Katsuna, not really fearful of their life, is procking the mobility to just hang in there. All the while, Hungry Boy is sometimes playing the core, sometimes playing the man, plays the core in the right moment there to knock that thing home. And we do have a first point taken by the side of No Time there. They stop the bleeding.
Yeah, No Time did a really good job at just being able to use that core flip. Hungry Boy used that core flip, forced Katsuna out of position, and Rightfully Fresh was covering the bottom side, so it was pretty well played, honestly. And like, oh wow, beautiful core flip, but like a lot of people were playing for that damage on one specific person, but throughout the entire time, I don't think anybody actually died that point, but a lot of people were very close to it.
Oh, finally they pressed the beam. I was like subconsciously saying, please step on the beam. And there we go. The defense is won. Katsuna once again low to say nothing about the Joker. Joker getting in the mixer though. Katsuna attempts the call out with the Estelle primary, but no dice there. Fresh and Katsuna working in between the two of them, not looking too eager to go forward just yet, just biding their time, waiting for the right opportunity. You'd think this Atlas would have the team player with all this back passing, but it's actually Luke who has it for those not keeping track. In any case, the man of the hour, Luke, forced to interact there, but just wins with a simple strike. All the while, Rightfully Fresh has been robbed of all dodge, meaning that if this ball can get into Leo Leon, things could get a bit dicey. But as we tick into overtime, Rightfully Fresh maintains his barrier.
Yeah, honestly, Hungry Boy has been doing a really good job on this map, and considering the fact that it's Inky Splash Zone, I feel like the Brawler does have a lot of agency, but who gets the Brawler? The ball? The midfielder. But unfortunately, it seems like Hungry Boy did just get shot, and considered for a wonderful layup there. Pendulum Swing takes it down. The iron wall that is Luke, and the beam that is popped by Rightfully Fresh lets Katsuna get a very easy point, and it's 1-1 already.
The crowd liked that one. I could hear that from the caster room. Excellent killing. I think that is just what the doctor ordered. The fact that they're going pound for pound in the kill department this time around, I think is paying dividends for this Ooh La La side. They're able to capitalize on power plays. That said, most next power play looking likely to be onto Katsuna. What do I know? What do I know? The beam is actually the one to get it done, and also knocks it into the path of Katsuna, who tees that up and drives it right through the bot plane to put the side of Ooh La La up 2-1 on this set.
This is no longer a midfielder's map. This is no longer a brawler's map. This is a midfielder's map, which is how crazy Katsuna is going up his style right now. Like the kill of hit stun bump into the beam, and then using a Roseward beam as like set up to hit stun Luke and get the point in. Oh my god. Beautiful gameplay from Katsuna right now. Unfortunately, to get whipped from Joker, but honestly, that might have been being used for damage, and I can't blame them. Once again, their win condition here is the damage, and it seems like both teams really want to get a power play started.
Yeah, and one looks to be beckoning for the Joker. Luke throws the wall at the Joker in the middle of the park. That guy is fiending for a kill. unable to find it there, nor is the wall high up enough to exert any sort of meaningful pressure on Frightfully Fresh's goal. All the while, Fresh is able to slowly work that thing into Katsuna, but Katsuna dribbles, allowing the pressure to be put on. Luckily, it baits the situation with a strike war, coupled into an excellent self-combo to take the barrier on the bot side. All the while, scoring might be a bit tricky. What do I know? Never mind, the Joker is alive, and the Joker gets in there. It's actually Katsuna to seal the deal there with another primary. Seems to be the move of the hour. That is incredible from the side of Ooh La La. They came to play, and they are now one set away from taking us to game 3.
Absolutely. No Time has been putting so much damage pressure on Joker this game, where I feel like this is the reason why Katsuna is stepping up like this, because he has to step up, because Joker, he's not the punching bag. He's the resident punching bag, and he has to basically just play for his life while Estelle is able to do all the objectives for him, while the other team uses their cooldowns to chip down on Joker's health bar. And honestly, with this Glass Cannon here, as long as they're not the one getting hit, and with Rasmus with, once again, even more size, this is a really, really scary team for No Time.
Yeah, certainly. I think, it gets really scary. Granted, through no fault of the drafted, that one just kind of wriggled on through. It's also worth noting, Fresh has nothing, not even a dodge. Man is homeless, so if there were ever a time to attack this goalie, it would be now. But they're really struggling to get that ball onto the left side of the field. No Time more interested in glitch popping backwards to get kills onto the Joker. And that's enough, because the Joker has CDs, Frightfully Fresh didn't, and Hungry Boy capitalizes, ushers that thing into the top corner. And that is just what the Doctor ordered, a point on the board for No Time.
Yeah, but Doctor ordered more sets, not orbs, and honestly, they're doing a pretty good job at that right now. Once again, Hungry Boy having a lot of agency on this map, despite the fact that he's been a pretty big focus for damage on behalf of Ooh La La. There's been a lot of damage on the board, and most of it has been going towards Hungry Boy and the Joker. Both of these people have been the stars for the focus of damage, and honestly, despite that fact, both of them have been doing a pretty good job at still having presence on the field, despite that fact.
It's worth noting that within 30 seconds, the Joker has been almost killed twice. First, ringed the lib out of Atlas, and then the Retro got procced. So that just really speaks to the damage that is going on here. And to speak nothing of the damage that could have been laid onto Fresh there, had Leon looked for the kill, and there the kills come. Crazy sequence by Hungry Boy and the gang to get rid of 2 defenders there. And now this No Time team is looking primed to take the set should they just get one more goal.
Ask and thou receive. You asked for damage, and they provided. Leon and Hungry Boy just doing it. Honestly, almost effortless double kill here, and it seems like that they want to reverse sweep this game for now with just how aggressive they're playing. Katsuna almost goes to core strike, but they're able to keep it alive for now. Beam is coming alive. Leon and Hungry Boy oh my god, Spatial Expanse eats alive behind me, but for now, the offense still seems to be going. It's 30 seconds, and Luke is still able to hold his barrier. Horde has been on the other side the entire time so far, and Horde Flip is actually still being held onto here. Katsuna looking like that their baits are being burned, and Joker using a Core Flip gets Luke his Core Flip out of there, and that's looking pretty good. It seems like that they want to get their first point of the board here.
Atlas primary is just enough to usher the thing out, but that is a kill if I've ever seen one. M-Prop coming in clutch, and Hungry Boy responding to the call with a really good flip of his own. And that was some way to take a 3rd point and take your first set. And there are a lot of good things on the board. Granted, a lot of good things on the board for a lot of different people. So it'll be interesting to see how this draft shakes up.
Honestly, I feel like the biggest letdown here is Rasmus is the last pick. He has 2 Size Awakenings, and he is not going to be able to get that Might of Colossus. I feel like there's no way that we're going to let them get that. And yeah, it is correct. Dubu is the one who takes it away, and honestly, he has the Power Pauldrons too. So that Might of the Colossus and Power Pauldrons is kind of an iconic duo right there. That Dubu, you're going to have to watch the edge when you're in a 1v1 with him now.
He can kill you with roll, he can kill you with projectile, he can kill you with even Log, if he's feeling frisky, could probably do a job given the right circumstances. Crazy physics, Albert Einstein, where are you at?
Oh, luckily, frankly, Fresh, no, he does not hang on. That is so unfortunate. You really wish they'd update this game, but I guess we picked the wrong horse. Those interactions are bound to happen. All you can do if you're Fresh there is just shake your head and say NT. Really unfortunate way to concede, but yeah, it is what it is. At least at a bare minimum builds to flip here.
Absolutely. Someone has to call Isaac Newton to patch that one out, but for now, we don't really have to worry about that. Once again, we're seeing Joker and Yatsuna kind of running the offense. They're doing a pretty good job of holding it down, but it is crossing the midfield line now. It's Fresh's turn to hold it down. Good strike to the bottom side, leaves it alive. Leo Leon, Hungry Boy, both setting up both their creations, but nothing comes of it. And honestly, passively, all the damage being laid on Joker. Oh, Power Pauldron, right up the Colossus. Value. Oh my god, what Billy Sizer making Value Petrol Swing bars are going flying. Hungry Boy uses his core flip, sends it to the top side, and it's good. Rightfully Fresh, unfortunately, not quite able to react to it, and it looks like that they want to take this to a set 5 as soon as possible.
I feel like Frightfully Fresh needed to trust the Joker a little more there. That felt savable. What do I know? I'm in the gantry there on the field. But in any case, yeah, I don't know what has clicked for this No Time team, but they're really reverting back to the sort of form we saw expressed from them in that first game. That said, a smidgen of Caster's Curse is just enough to seal the deal for the Joker and friends. Within 14 seconds, they finally get a goal on the board after a bit of a streak of bad luck and misfortune, and they are still here to fight. They are still just 2 goals from sealing the deal here.
They're still on, series point for them right now. Not series point, but they're 1 point away from making that happen, as this is their winning set right now if they're able to get it in. But the Joker getting the fan point a little bit here, gets KO off the edge, and now it's looking like a really strong offense on behalf of No Time. It seems like it's about to go in. Hungry Boy chips it in, didn't really need to. And they win 3-1, and we're taking this game to a set 5 on Inkies.
This M-prop wall is either intentionally or inadvertently, take your pick, giving Luke so much value. He's just able to deny space and keep the core where he wants it for his forwards so much more efficiently, and is rewarded richly with the pick of the litter here in this draft, and opts for the size, takes it away from Rasmus. Rasmus responding in turn with the peak performance. Hot shot, I guess Hungry Boy just having to be the block donkey here. It does mean that Atlas opts for the agile will be just a smidgen faster. There's a lot of blocking happening in this draft. Deadeye Asher, sure, why not?
Yeah, absolutely. That Deadeye Asher is a little scary, but once again, with how deranged Leo Leon has been with his password and having success anyways, I'm not very surprised. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't think Demolitionist was a deny from a Dubu, because that Dubu has power potions and Might of a Colossus. That is so much power that's being added on, and dude, if this Dubu rolls on you around the edge, he's just gonna kill you, man. You could be across the midfield line, he's still gonna kill you.
And it's not to mention that he's the size of a skyscraper, so hitting that roll is much easier than would be otherwise. I don't know how that's been kept out, but it has. We persist in the neutral as we take past the 30-second mark. Frightfully Fresh and friends working to get that thing out of the J corner. Not quite able to do so, at least in such a way that they retain possession. Ball once again being forced back up onto the left side of the field. That is the last possible wreck drone for the Joker, but it doesn't matter. He makes it count. He hangs on for just long enough to shove that thing home. And once again, I've said this 5 times, but ooh la la, again, 2 points away from taking this game.
Joker has just been playing for his life this entire time, and despite the fact that has been happening, he's still able to score and he's still able to make it happen. And he almost gets another barrier just like this, but he's not getting focused for damage right now. He's just kind of able to play the game. He's doing a really good job at doing so. And honestly, I'll say it, I feel like that Tofu Fortress was a bit of a grief on behalf of Luke, because it was just the offense had to stay on his side of the field because they just couldn't clear it out. He just had to hit it back to Tofu Fortress over and over again. But right now, it's still only the first point, but it is set 5, and those consequences are going to have big actions.
Joker and Fresh both on the precipice of flip. Luke, speaking of energy, is forced out of his own, meaning the Joker should be at liberty to use his own, and that is a beast angle. That is, and not to mention a beast kill. Here we go, tap that thing home. Never mind, the Joker not able to make lightning strike thrice. Luke holds on for dear life as once again the double offense of this Ooh La La team careens forward, threatens his net. But this Dubu is so fast, he can get stunned, and he still can't save it. Cannot save that one, though. Excellent work by the Joker to tap that thing home. Brawler gets it done, and we are inches away from a game 3.
But Joker is here to make this Grands a showing, and that is what he does best. His team is called Showtime after all, and even though this isn't Showtime, we are seeing the energy being channeled right now with just how well, this is honestly an insane game right now. Katsuna is looking a little bit low. The damage is being focused on Katsuna instead of Joker now, but it seems like that is going to be biting them in the butt right now as Joker was able to get the barrier. The beam is now up. Unfortunately, they are not able to get anything come of it just yet. And now it seems like the offense is going to come in favor of Hungry Boy and Leon, or Hungry Boy once he gets his arm and walks up.
Yeah, I mean, here comes Joker and Katsuna, though. Joker not able to win that particular interaction. No sale there. Not to mention his life once again on the line. The pressure makes diamonds. Kill pressure is not. Oh my god!
Oh my god!
What the hell? This guy's a beast! Oh, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I guess it's a 2v2. A bit of cooler heads prevailing here. Neither team eager to push their advantage here. That was a crazy reversal. For those who didn't register, it's in! We're going game 3. That was low-key the best point of Omega Strikers I've ever casted, and I could not be happier that I'm going to be in this chair for a little longer.
Oh my god, that was so well played by Joker and Katsuna on the offense, and Fresh was also doing a really good job of holding it down, but Katsuna stepped up that game. MVP to nobody's surprise. Holy, who let Joker get 8 KOs? I didn't even realize that guy was killing people. Holy moly. But yeah, no, Katsuna running that show gets more KOs than the Joker, but really the only reason why that's the case is because the Joker was getting fanboyed the entire time. So in that scenario, it's the midfielder who has to step up, and step up did Katsuna do, because wow, 7 goals, 2 assists, 190 redirects. Easy MVP, 2 KOs, but it's okay because Joker was doing that for you. A lot of damage was being put down across the board across those two, and it's kind of funny that Alice only has 7k damage compared to everybody else.
I thought he KO'd. That must have been last game with the primary. I thought he KO'd. But in any case, that is a great return to form. Granted, it's not return to form. It's actually the enemies of return to form that managed to level the scales here. Katsuna, hats off to you. Not to mention the Joker just has that clutch gene, man. That was incredible what he managed to pull out of his hat, especially given that he was on death's door that entire game. Dios mio. It does mean we are going to a game 3. A little bit of a bio break on behalf of one of the players will not be named, but I will say that's a bit of a beast move. Do not blame you. What it does mean is, we will be twiddling our thumbs for just a bit as these players wait to head into the 3rd game of this series. It is going to be a night market game, which on one hand, very monotonous gameplay loop. On the other hand, it means that this has all the makings of a long slog of a decider, which is good. I reckon I'm not really in the business of watching a blowout, so, for once, I'm actually pretty happy to see that market turn up here.
Absolutely, and it's also kind of a nice change of pace from these more open, well, I wouldn't call him that open space actually, but, let's just say, little Mickey maps, a little chaotic, Amizap has very prone to those HKOs, and well, we definitely saw a team take advantage of that in the last game. Pretty swift 3-0 on that side, but also low key, they're able to bring back. That's a lot of KOs on their team too. But Joker has more KOs than the entire team, which is that could go either way in night market. I'm kind of curious to see what happens, because what this tells me is that they're pretty good at playing for damage. When they're not on Imizap, which is a more edge KO focused map, you don't really have to play for damage to be able to get those power plays. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen in this game 3.
I feel like it's gonna be a tale of awakenings. Honestly, I think it could be a bloodbath. It could be Core Control City. I think at this, because these are all Nassau teams, at least in terms of their player composition. At that point, you can play anything pretty well, whatever the situation calls for. It would be funny to see a kill game. I think that would be more interesting to commentate than just pure passing. No TP off start no more. So no doubt, at least there's not going to be any passing slot. But yeah, do you have any diagnosis as to how this Ula side was able to so concretely reverse their fortunes in that last game?
I feel like that they saw that they were getting KO'd a lot in the last game, and they're like, okay, we're going to play for life. Whoever is getting damage, they're just going to do their best not to die. And then the other team just well, the other two members on their team will do the work for them. And honestly, they did a really good job at that. They were able to adapt to this damage, like skate that they were able to, thrust upon, and they did a really good job at adapting to it and overcoming it. Because not only did the fact that they didn't die, like Joker was getting damaged the entire game. Like that guy was probably staggered for half the game, but still, only 5 KOs were found. That guy was like the shimmier. He was the wiggler that game, and if they're able to bring back that energy and be able to kill the other team like they did this time, I can definitely see it coming in the favor of, like, just honestly, ooh la la. They can definitely take this Grands, and it's a game 3. It can honestly go either way, I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like that's gotta be just the Octavia experience coming in clutch there. I feel like the tale of Octavia is just constantly shimmying, playing for dear life. And those are, as they say in the job application business, transferable skills. Anyone can mash WASD on their keyboard, irrespective of the character. And I think that paid dividends for the Joker. He's played his life incredibly well, as you were saying. I think as a team, as offensively and aggressive, damagely potent as this no-time side, you're gonna need that in your pocket, as well as just solid offenses. He had some nice shots there, to say nothing of Katsuna, the MVP of the last game. I think if they're able, I feel like if they're able, they're probably always going to angle for the Luna. But even this Estelle is definitely putting in work and could continue to do so on Night Market. It might be the cure for getting past Luke, is just shooting the guy.
No, absolutely, and I feel like that was definitely a really good win condition. Every single time they were able to shoot the hamster, they did usually score afterwards, and that's just because, like, this guy's, like, channeling his barcode energy, man. I'm not going to lie to you, because, like, on this Dubu, you can't get through him. He's got so much, like, defensive pressure, and with Hungry Boy being able to, like, just help out on defense, like, they're a really, really strong defensive duo that we're really seeing in this land, and, like, dude, it's honestly just insane. This Luke has been able to, like, let it fly in all colors, and you're a good goalie when the only way that you can score on him is to take him off the field for 12 seconds.
I mean, welcome back, Barcode, as you were saying. Hell yeah, my idol. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I wonder if Luke just locks the Dubu again. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it just seems like that's his thing. And why not? Why shake it up? I don't even, at this point, I feel like Pandora's box has been open. I don't know what to predict. We are getting a drafter set up real quick, so that should definitely inform our picks. But just like off the dome, I don't know what we're in store for. Hopefully a whole barrel of fun. I'm not really liking the idea of that Imizap sweep happening once more. So hopefully this Ooh La La side kind of recuperates and takes any lessons that were learned from that blowout and applies them to another open map. Closed map, Dios mío. It is interesting, maybe killing not necessarily a win caught at the gate, because it is Lizard, Reptile Remy, in addition to Foff as our two starting Awakenings, so should be pretty easy to play around damage for, at least out that gate.
And honestly, man, I'm kind of curious to see if we get this Dubu taken away from Luke, like either banned or like picked away from him. I want to see what happens. Not gonna lie, because I want to see what his second pick is. I've only seen this person with Dubu the entire time. What else does he have in his bag? It's probably like a never made like goalie, but like what else could it be? Because I swear I thought this guy used to be an Ami player, but I haven't seen him on Ami. He's been locking it down like a melee goalie, so maybe I've been gaslit my entire life because he's looking like Barcode on this Dubu. So I'm not sure. I'm kind of curious to see what we're gonna see on these bans here. On a map like Night Market, you can definitely see these barriers last for a long time. So I feel like a Dubu ban could definitely be warranted here.
Low-key, yeah, because this isn't... These Awakenings are kind of like jack of all trades. They're not necessarily screaming any character like, oh, I gotta ban X here, like whatever. So I think it definitely is more dealer's choice vis-a-vis the bans here. Would not be surprised if they respect ban the Luke Dubu, but then again, Luke has a Mako. He did bust it out in the Nassau postseason, if I'm not mistaken, or it might have... It was either Nassau postseason or like late Nassau regular season, but he has also been in the Mako mines. I think the theme of this season for him has been just learning to lock it down. So who knows? I don't know. I mean, I do still think the Dubu is definitely the root of all evil for this for this Ooh La La side. So we'll see. It'd be real bad to hype up a ban that never comes to us. I do have to hedge my bets a little bit. I mean, there's plenty of things that could be banned here.
No, there's definitely a lot of stuff, because there's also still like Katsuna's Luna that they have to think about as well. And Katsuna did a really good job that last game. I feel like it would be kind of wrong to ban the Luna after they had such a good performance on the Estelle. Like, his Luna got banned out so often in Nazzle, I feel like he learned how to play his other picks way better because that Estelle looked really good. And he also has that Juno as well, and with I'll say it, a pretty core control, like, oriented start. There's no damage awakenings here. A Juno could look pretty healthy, and if like a Hungry Boy goes like an Estelle or something, they could definitely counterpick that with a Juno. That would look super good for Ooh La La.
Yeah, definitely so, because I think there's probably, at least once again out the gate, I have to preface all this with out the gate, but I think the Luna perhaps a little less potent off rip, especially because everyone can live a little more, so maybe you'd be, a little less, or a little more comfortable letting that through. Guess we'll see. What it is interesting is they're deliberating just as hard as we are. Reports on the ground is that No Time is still like putting their heads together and really brainstorming this draft. Maybe the case is that, they're trying to diagnose what went wrong there and how best to address their flaws. That said, like I said, they were money on the last closed map they played, so maybe it is just more of the same. I believe, they ran the exact same comp both games, right? Or am I insane?
I think, if not, it was very close, because I know Leo Leon was playing Asher game 1, and then they also played it game 2. And then Hungry Boy was also playing Ivy game 1 and game 2. Wait a minute. And then Luke was also playing Dubu both games as well.
Yeah.
So they're just making their comfort picks the entire time. So I'm wondering if like maybe one of those 3 characters might get banned out, because once again, Leo Leon, very scary in Zentaro, like very known, honestly, a very flexible player all around. But I saw that Zentaro earlier, and it looked like a beast. I mean, it's not really a Zentaro Awakening though, so I'm not sure, but I wouldn't be surprised to see like an Asher get banned out here, because, you know what? I mean, it's like a Reptile for every start, man. Asher loves Stagger Awakenings because like that character can definitely abuse them, because her Stagger Awakening pool is just as good as Dubu. I'm pretty sure they're tied for first, but yet again, there's been a lot of Stagger changes, so I'm not really sure if that's still the case anymore, but she's definitely up there. If she's not top 1, she's probably like top 2.
I think so. It's also, because Atlas is also kind of a Stagger Awake farmer. So maybe Lightning will strike twice for Fresh too. I mean, Fresh has been walking that Atlas as well. And to much more successful effect in that second game, I must say. Seemed like he was being rotated around a lot more in that first game, but kind of figured things out. Maybe that was because Katsuna was on the Estelle, so it was a little easier to defend relative to... Katsuna was on the Luna game 1, right? Or am I actually just tripping?
Katsuna was on the Luna game 1.
Yeah. So maybe it was a little more difficult to be that sort of utility defender type as the Luna, kind of less less mobily potent, let's put it that way. So, we'll see what all comes of that. NT still taking their... they are called No Time. They are not getting ready for this draft in no time. Let me tell you that much. It's much time, actually, because, this Ooh La La side has been ready for a while. So, gold star to them. But, this is... like 500, 600 Canadian on the line. So, I mean, I'd take my sweet time, too. That's like half a month of rent, probably.
Yeah, honestly, No Time looking like they got all the time right now. It seems like that they've been debating for a while. I'm pretty sure that they did say that they were debating 3 minutes ago now. I'm like, did they even start the draft? I'm actually not sure, but it seems like that they might not have started yet, because there's like a 30-second time limit on it, right? So like, I'm pretty sure it hasn't started yet. But either way, you know what? Let's take a moment. They're clearly still not doing their draft, probably for a while. Kai! We just banned Kai! Okay!
We're in there.
Alright, guys. Okay. So, draft has finally officially started. We're seeing a Kai ban first, which is honestly pretty understandable. And honestly, I wonder if the Kai ban has been, like, Hungry Boy, or do you think it's been from Luke? Because, like, it has been, like, a perma Kai ban on behalf of Ooh La La.
It's gotta be Hungry Boy. I don't think Luke's Kai is, like... Luke has too many good options for his guy to be like that much of a gig in that eye, but maybe I'm not a knower. But on the other side of that coin, Atlas will not make a third appearance here. No Fisher-Price Vaughn to be found. No Atlas here on the board. It does appear as if Frightfully Fresh is going to have to find something else, and that's got to be Luke Mako. I am a knower. There's the Luke Mako, and that's got to be... wait, are we sure No Time is red?
No, that could totally be Katsuna, right?
But it's red, but they're red.
Hold on. Oh, hold on. Yeah, you were right actually.
I
So-
guess maybe they're just
Huh.
hard denying ooh la la. Well, who knows? I guess.
Well, to be fair, Fresh on the Mako is definitely not unseen. I'm pretty sure that was what we saw in the first game, so it's
That
not very
is true.
surprising to see it come up again. But once again, this means that Leo Leon is once again on this Asher, and they actually take Katsuna's Estelle away, which is honestly pretty smart. Because honestly, you know how I said Juno's a good matchup for Estelle?
Yeah.
Katsuna knows that. Like he counterpicked the midfield pick, which is also really good. So going to this game, and then we see Luke on Debu again.
Oh,
so
good
no
God.
surprise there. We're seeing the Debu be like for the third time.
Okay.
100% presence display, and I think I don't know. We've definitely seen it every single time in Grands, so that's not too big of a shock to people here and everybody at home. But man, I'm kind of you know what? I'm just like at a loss of words because I was a prophet. I saw the Juno counter pick against the Estelle. I'm like, ooh, nice. This game could also go either way now. I'm very curious to see how this game goes. This could be a heater.
Likewise, I'm hoping it's a heater. I still got some air left in the pipe, so I'm down to scream for like 30 minutes. I hope it's a heater. That said, the last time Amaka was locked in between the sticks, it was a blowout. But I believe in Frightfully Fresh. I do. He would not be at this level had he been incapable of holding. So here we go. We are finally getting into the swing of things. And what I am knocking on the wood of this standing desk to be, or manifesting it to be a heater, hopefully no fake pop. I would like to get into this game. And there is the loading screen.
Okay.
We are in the money. I don't remember the exact figure, don't quote me, but like I think it's like a $2,000 Canadian prize pool total, right?
Ooh.
Or am I
See,
insane?
I don't know, honestly. I didn't look into the prize pool either. But you know, the fact that there's a prize pool at all, there is in fact money on the line for this. So, stakes are high coming into this game right now. It is 1-1 grand finals. There is no bracket reset. Whoever wins this game is winner takes all right now.
I had that on the money, no pun intended. It's actually 2,045 Canadian, so that's like another Tim Hortons order right there on top of everything else. So this is big money moves here. I think you get about 50% of it if you're the winner, so that is 1,000 some change on the line here, coming down to game 3, big payday in store, not to mention the eternal glory of taking Canada's first ever LAN. Here we go, both teams rearing to go. Possession won by the Joker and friends, not able to snowball it into a first barrier just yet. Leo Leon coming out the gate swinging, looking for that kill, but not too much you can do there. One, the Katsuna has the energy to their name. Big defense here, triple defense in the back is enough to get that thing out, and now everyone's once again moshing top lane as we're all too used to seeing on this map. But nobody taking a barrier in any sort of a hurry. Luke hanging on, throwing the wall, and we're back to a neutral state.
Absolutely, and we're looking at the Awakenings here. Everybody was actually able to take fight or flight here. You're seeing every single person taking fight or flight. It's also not that much of a surprise, and we're actually seeing both midfielders also taking Manxels. It's a very, very samey game, honestly, and obviously both brawlers are going to take slick kicks. That's no surprise there. But yeah, it's a very, like, everybody took the same thing. Unfortunately, yeah, Luke once again going for the pauldrons is also pretty fair. I think he really likes putting his damage on the brawler, as we're seeing his Joker is taking pretty low right now.
Low-key, Joker being on the brink of death is high-key a win con, because every time he just stutter steps around all the abilities that come his way, and that means you've got less damage. This guy's nuts! He's doing this in grams! Okay, sure, why not? Percentage plays, never heard of him. The Joker, as the name would imply, lives on the wild side. Really good reverse angle found to open Luke's barrier. Luke also sitting on no dodge, meaning just a well-placed primary should be enough to send that thing through. But speaking of primaries, how about an ultimate to knock Leo Leon off of the map? Hungry Boy's in the right place to make this tricky, though, as is Luke, and this power play comes to nothing. Might actually come to something on the other end of the field. Does force a flip out of Frightfully Fresh. Not necessarily to, might I add, could have definitely fended it off with a strike, but it's all good. Both players back on the map. Will we finally see a goal? No, we won't.
world's longest point, but things could be opening up here. Both goalies exposed with their pants down, and there goes Leo Leon to tap that thing home. First goal of Grand Finals decider goes the way of no time.
With their pants down, indeed, as Leo Leon gets the point there. Generally, no player on here has the foot on the brakes right now. Everybody is going at max speed. There is no such thing as a slow lane right now, as everybody's going full throttle. Everybody, both, once again, the Joker and Ugly Boy, unfortunately, I'm very from Katsuna and Joker, they're a little unlucky, but the Joker and Ugly Boy, once again, they're the main focus for damage, but right now, it seems like that they're able to live anyways. And once again, like you said, Joker being damaged is a win condition, because it seems like that he's just able to lock in. He wiggles around, never dies, then Katsuna's able to lock in, get both berries, and it's been scored.
Frightfully Fresh in a tricky situation though, but actually rare usage of Mako's secondary to defend barrier gets it done. And Joker capitalizes on that brilliant piece of defending to take that first barrier off of Luke with a good application of that ultimate. Almost calls out the back pass too. This guy's a knower, just was not able to position quick enough. Frightfully Fresh misses the primary, not what you want to see. And now, okay, it just goes from bad to worse. The House of Cards comes crumbling down, and that is another goal on the board for no time.
A lot of pressure is just being put on Frightfully Fresh right now, and it's honestly completely understandable right now. A lot of stakes are high. We're seeing a lot of fumbles, like right there. Joker, unfortunately, was a strike. Like, mental pressure is at a climax right now with just how many stakes are on the line. Like, not only is this Grand Finals, there is no bracket reset once again, and it's 1-1. It's currently 2-0, and like, dude, my mental can definitely get to your head at this point, because like, there's $2,000 up the line as well. Like, there's so much at stake right now, and the Joker is honestly playing up to his mind. Like, despite the fact that he's been staggered like the entire game, he still has yet to fall.
Oh, maybe. Oh, he dodges it! That bastard, he cannot be killed! And there he gets the orb for his troubles, all the while Frightfully Fresh, left all by his lones, he was not able to hold. Uses the cage to buy this team some time. Flips, traded, question mark? No, let's just defend with strike instead.
Oh, yes.
And there goes Leo Leon, punished for his hubris. He flew too close to the sun, and it's a power play in favor of this blue side. No time up against the ropes. They do have 2 flips though, so it should be good. Oh, Luke being forced out of 1 though. Katsuna finding the right back pass, but it gets dicey. But good hold by Frightfully Fresh. The Mako is on point. Excellent reactive secondary to make sure this set is not quite over yet.
Fresh is showing his iron will in full capacity right now. He is doing such a good job at holding it down. He's just able to like lock it down against every sequence, every 1v2. He wins it out. Katsuna is able to cover on the bottom side, and like, dude, everything is happening right now. So much is at stake. They just need to get 1 point to be able to get the chance to be able to win the set. Pendulum swing almost gets it through Luke, but he was there, locked and loaded. This is so hard to start an offense right now. It's really this pricing shot from Hungry Boy almost makes it happen, but Leo Leon really wants to touch the core. Hungry Boy on point with the reaction times once again. Hungry Boy is really wanting to try and get the core to Leo Leon right now. Leo Leon is positioned exactly how he needs it, but Joker also positioned perfectly. Leo Leon gets the core, floats over to his side, and is able to contest it perfectly. Frightfully Fresh in the middle, not able to capitalize off of Leo Leon's positioning, and it's a 3-0 win for no time.
That is the least convincing 3-0 of all time, though. All of those points were absolute war. I mean, this blue Ooh La La side is still so in this game. Hot shot, definitely consequential onto this Estelle, but he does cede the Explo to Mako, meaning that if Leo Leon is not in a position to be able to disable that, that could be a huge win con coming online for this blue side. All the while, stagger scaling coming into play for Leo Leon, and the M-Prop, all reliable, falling to Luke, which could be really potent on this match.
Absolutely. With how aggressive Luke likes to play, I would not be surprised to see this missile prop get a lot of aggressive value, as they do really like to walk up when they have a chance to, but at the same time, they're also just a really good defensive goalie. Unfortunately, a little somersault, a little bit flawed. A rare somersault whip from Luke, actually. Perhaps Praxis starting to show him the armor here.
Luke is definitely negotiating around that Juno slime at the very least. Katsuna not so fortunate to hold into that Estelle ultimate, and Leo Leon couples that with a really good primary to get that gate open. And now this Asher's looking real scary should the ball head in her general direction, but the Joker uncharacteristically misses that primary and gives possession right back into the hands of this red side. That is a flip within 5 yards of the net, but it does not matter. It is held, and there, oh my God. Dios mio, sure, why not Frightfully Fresh? Great hold, and we are still here. This blue side still has a pulse in this point, and Joker makes good use of that new lease on life to open the gate on that right side of the pitch, and now it is anyone's point. Here he comes. He's creeping slowly, intrepidly, inevitably towards this arc, but he cannot get there. Maybe on the second time of asking, but Luke has a full pocket full of barriers to get that one out of dodge. Oh, there we go! Call him the Canadian sniper. Excellent usage of the ulti there. It's actually Katsuna that gets. Oh, right, because it's the hit stun. It's the hit stun. Take nothing away from how either one played, irrespective of who the goal was attributed to. That is just what you need to get past this wall of hamster. And there is signs of life here in the play for Ooh La La.
Absolutely. If there's anything that Joker is good at doing, it's making the best of a bad situation, and we've definitely been seeing that come in full fruition here with just how this entire series has gone. Joker gets shot, comes back up, scores anyways, or enables the score because, like, dude, that Hulk, he didn't get the point, but he was the reason why that went in anyways, and once again, Joker is just getting shots. Like, he gets the orb, which is good, but he has to, like, stay so far back, and both the court flips being used from no time here, actually just Hungry Boy who uses it, but honestly, Frightfully Fresh is still able to hold it down once again. Flip in the corner, not as powerful as an open net situation. Joker finally dies for the first time this set, and it looks like a power play is going to be Leo Leon. Everybody wins the striker against Kasuna and gets sent to the top side. There's nothing that they can do in that scenario, and now it's a 1-2-1 in the second set.
It's all good. 50-50s are coin flips. That is a heated moment. All good. NT Katsuna recognizing the folly of that situation, getting right back into the swing of things, cutting that out clear. Luke and friends find the other clear though and get that thing through along top plane. The ball continues to get into danger man Joker, all the while Frightfully Fresh finds the turnaround, gets it down into bot plane. Katsuna incapable of finding the right angle to get it around this really big Asher though. The cage coming out from Fresh is enough to stall that particular offense, but it's right back into this Mako, right into the hands of Leo Leon. Gets the first barrier. Well, granted, it was conceded by Frightfully Fresh. All the while, things get a little dicier as it is now. Power play in favor of No Time. Luke is fiending to walk up here, but holds his nerve, holds his resolve, plays conservatively, still loses that first barrier. But Hungry Boy finding the beast angle required to get around Frightfully Fresh and take that second barrier. And it is now a Mako in the open net. That's a little suboptimal.
Yeah, Hungry Boy saying it's his turn on the Estelle this time. Katsuna playing a masterclass on Estelle last game, but now Hungry Boy is going absolutely bonkers on the pick right now. Absolute chaos is happening right now, but once again, it gets past to the Hungry Boy, who's just been doing so good on this Estelle. Like, they've been getting all the kills, all the points with a beautiful piercing shot, gets the core, and Katsuna on Fresh. The entire defensive line is put as a victim as a piercing shot, and now it looks like they want to win the second set as well as the first.
Hungry Boy, what a shot, what a play. Frightfully Fresh, not able to deal with that heat. Now play congregates in the bot side here, everyone and their mother trying to force it through on opposite sides, and that is a Dubu moment, especially with this M-prop. That's bound to happen from time to time, but it does not phase Luke. He finds the out. Nonetheless, this guy is a beast. All good. Calm's getting a little NSFW here in the gantry because this guy is just really good at clearing. In any case, he continues to be good at clearing, finds the out, and he also strike wars the primary. Granted, that one came from across the map, so maybe a little less impressive. Hungry Boy now back helping with the defense as well, getting in front of Luke, taking those interactions, but Luke incapable of dealing with that one in a timely manner. But here comes the creation slaw. Top plane is anyone's game. That's gotta be it. Never mind. Yes, mind. Leo Leon has enough up his sleeve to send that thing home, and it is now one set from victory for this red side.
Absolutely. Luke was holding it down so hard, he actually like choked the cuss out of me for the first time ever, and honestly deservedly so. I don't know, I was holding it down so well. That time against the Petrus was meticulous, and now unsurprisingly we're seeing Katsuna with the MVP and takes team player, and honestly I thought that this Juno was going to be a bad matchup, or like a good matchup into this Estelle here, but Hungry Boy does not care. It doesn't matter. He has been logging the midfield line the entire time. He's been taking control of this game candidly, and now he is team player as well, being able to both back pass to Luke, but also pass it forward to Leo Leon. And if these points go over to overtime, that can be so scary for Ulala.
I don't get the point of that log to the median. Can someone explain that in chat? I can't read chat, but like that was bizarre. In any case, what is happening is death and destruction. There goes Hungry Boy. All the while, Luke doing his best to hold that thing in spite of the personnel disadvantage. The rotate is found easily through Katsuna as a consequence, though. Ball can't get to Joker, though. There it goes.
Oh.
Bang! Bada bing, bada boom. Cannot convert, though. Luke, in spite of missing the roll, is bailed out somehow, some way. Holds onto that barrier, but is called out by a tickling little primary that knocks it right past him. Open net for this Dubu, is able to find the out, but here comes a real fast Juno to make things complicated. Can't do much of anything just yet. Fresh finding an out clear, buying both teams a bit of reprieve. Ping Pong City here in top corner. We'll see which member of which team's able to get it through. It's Katsuna that comes up trumps, but the course speed is so insurmountable that neither team can get any sort of sustained control here.
Absolutely. Leon, I just noticed, has been popping these knockout secondaries over Fresh, which, oh my god, what a snipe from the Joker, putting it to the top side. Very well done, but Leon has been doing a really good job at just shutting down both secondaries for Maka, which is also pretty important because Katsuna and the Joker, their win condition is just core control right now because they're really struggling to get any KOs. In fact, they are the ones getting KO'd this game, and like as we're seeing right now, a lot of damage being put on Joker once again. Like, they need to be able to find their footing, be able to like get these power plays of themselves with a beautiful whiplash core flip, a reverse backwards dash punch on behalf of Joker. And honestly, this Joker has been doing all sorts of crazy stuff on this Rasmus the entire game.
And there, I mean, that was not that crazy, but he does get the thing done, takes the second barrier, and this Ooh La La team is going down fighting. Granted, that's not a very auspicious clear, but it works, sure, why not put some duct tape on it and get back to work. Here comes the Joker, Katsuna finding a smart back pass to just get it away from Leo Leon, but here comes Leo Leon, took him a hot minute to get into top lane, was not able to do all too much. Here comes Luke, notably down a roll for the time being, does have flips, so should be cash money. Not if he's unable to get on the end of that core, though. Hungry Boy shooting first, pulling the trigger, not taking any chances, meaning that that's one less flip to the name of this NT team. All the while, the offense is where NT wants it. Luke flipping, interestingly enough, probably just for tempo, and that tempo is converted into a good barrier take. Leo Leon gets put in prison and is not able to fight. Luke, crazy read, studied that like a Bible, but there is nothing you can do there. This Dubu is not big enough for the Joker's saucy strikes.
Yeah, Joker is absolutely locked in right now. Like, he has been fanboyed the entire game, but to him it does not matter because he is the Showtime representative in this game right now, and he is absolutely showing off with just how flashy he's been playing this Rasmus.
And here he comes again, not able to do anything. That is an unfortunate loss of the first barrier, maybe the second, but immaculately timed primaries enough to get that thing out of dodge. Here comes Katsuna, called out by the primary, but that's a decent trade because they still get the core back into this right side of the pitch. Leo Leon looking ever threatening, but he's unable to do all too much. All the while, Luke called into action and is not able to hold there. Here comes Hungry Boy, right place, right time to make sure there's a little more sauce left on this set, but he might be on the way out here. The Joker, like a fly to a turd, gets rid of that Estelle. All the while, the power play beckons. He's not able to get the goal just yet. Katsuna trying their best to core control it alongside this Rasmus, but it's now everyone back on the map and we are in overtime.
Absolutely, it's an absolute banger for overtime right now. Joker has been doing so many stuff to like Luke right now. I feel like he's almost getting tired with how crazy he's been going on this Rasmus right now. I don't know who Joker's best character is, but it's looking like it's Rasmus, and he better get this MVP because it's well deserved with the crazy 3-0. It's honestly looking like a Rasmus masterclass. He's finally had his chance to shine, and he is absolutely glowing right now as he has the choice of like Might of the Colossus, which is really good for him, and honestly everything here is super chill for him, but he does go for the Might of the Colossus.
No big deal, but we were talking about Luke being a little smaller than usual, and size definitely mattering in that instance. And now the Joker is the recipient thereof. It is worth noting that Luke does pick up the second spark here, and it's the 2 sparks you probably want the most onto the goalie. That said, bit of primary spam to come out of Katsuna, and I think as someone looking to police the midfield, that's also beneficial. Good pickups all around, I'd say.
Absolutely, and honestly with Leo Leon now having the spark of power, the prize fighter on top of that, that's a lot of power that can scale up over time, where I'm starting to think that Leo Leon, like no times win condition, is going to be getting these KOs and being able to snowball Leon in a position where he can just kind of like nuke everybody on the team with four prize fighter stacks along with that spark. And wow, crazy out clear catch by Hungry Boy right there.
Here comes Leo Leon, procking something to get real fast there. He's looking to get in the mixer, and there we go. Served right into that.
Oh my God.
You know, you can't knock the audacity to go for that. We did see the Joker execute that earlier on. Flipped being traded left and right. The great energy depression beckoning here. Should Katsuna blow something sooner or later? And there goes Frightfully Fresh, blown into the net, and now Hungry Boy and Co just 2 points away from clinching this thing.
Absolutely. I just realized this macro actually has 2 dash awakenings because I was looking. Oh wait, sorry. How is this actually so fast? I have no idea. But yeah, no. Mako has a lot of dash awakenings to scale that secondary whip, so it's very important to be able to keep that in check. And not gonna lie, Mako's pretty susceptible to getting Oki'd. I have to admit, I saw it happen before, and it can definitely happen again. If Leo Leon and Hungry Boy start to kind of focus their damage on Frightfully Fresh and are able to maintain the core at the same time, that could be a potential way that they adapt to like be able to win this set and win the entire grands.
Ooh, Katsuna looking a little rocky there. Somehow they hold. Here's the flip. There's the cage. Will the angle be favorable? Joker not waiting to find out. He's getting that thing out with the flip, but he could be out of the match for the next 13 seconds. But he footsies around the Leo Leon dash, and that is disaster averted. Getting a bit disastrous for Hungry Boy, though. He's TPing around for dear life somehow. Oh, no. I was deceived. Yeah, packet loss. I thought Fresh held on to that, but he didn't. And now, God, this is not good. Bang, match point in favor of No Time. What does Ulala have up their sleeve? They need something.
They absolutely need something if they want to be able to bring this to set 5, and right now, it looks like it's really rough, but if they have anything, Leo, Leon, and Luke don't have core flips, so if they're able to take advantage of that fact, get a core flip of their own before they do, and convert a power play even, but right now it's looking like it might be cooked as both barriers are now taken, and Frightfully Fresh only has air behind his backs, but Joker is going crazy right now. Pendulum Swing also gets it in. Octavia Shrug for the aura, but unfortunately nothing does quite come in. And now Hungry Boy's walking up a core flip. This is a really scary scenario for Pathologically Fresh. Pivoting shot almost gets it in, but Fresh gets it, and it's lasting for just a little bit longer now. Luke gets hooked by Whiplash, a little bit weird interaction now. Joker is looking a little bit low, actually almost kills Hungry Boy. Gets the speed gate now, and Token Fortress is popped on the top side. Hungry Boy and Leo Leon really are feasting for this core right now.
And here comes the Joker, he's getting in there, but as is Luke, rolls into the middle of the park. Here's the flip, Katsuna, flip loading. This Juno's looking for aggro, misses the kill. That is pitiful.
It's a
snipes that. He snipes that from downtown. Frightfully Fresh, looking awful frightful on this Mako. That is just what the doctor ordered. Doesn't matter how they go in. They just needed something. They needed a miracle. And in came the goalie. Out goes the brawler, though, as does the top barrier. Now they're able to hold on to that bottom one, though, meaning it is one apiece for both goalies. But that flip from Leon looking so scary. We'll see what happens.
Leo Leon now has 4 prize fighter stacks. seeing him around anyone who's low is dangerous, and Perfectly Fresh pops the court clip, and honestly, Perfectly Fresh with that point. Not the first time we've seen him do something like that. Whenever his brawlers and forward isn't able to score, it seems like he's always able to clutch up when it matters the most. In that overtime moment, it was very critical. And once again, we see, oh no! Perfectly Fresh whips the strike, and it means no time wins for Grands. It's a 2-1 game, and they win the game on Night Market. They win the $2,000 prize pool.
They are your LANADA Leafer Penalty 2026 champions. The crowd goes wild. I certainly hope we have crowd, Mike. What an awesome turnout. What an awesome series. Hats off to every single person that participated in this LAN, but particularly I tip my cap to the 3 members of No Time who hit a couple speed bumps, but they got it over the line. They did incredible work, and they are your well-deserved champions.
Yeah, absolutely. And what an insane game that was. Everybody was trying their damnedest to be able to make the most of it. Like, Katsuna especially, those 292 redirects are honestly kind of crazy when you think about the fact that they were the ones who won that game. Like, Hamida was still able to control the midfield despite that fact. And honestly, this is such a well-earned win. Who really cares about the itty-gritty that happened that game? Leon, Pretty Boy, Luke, No Time were able to win that game, and what a heater it was. The first game was a resounding 3-0. Second game, it was a set 5 banger. I don't remember if it went to 0.5 on the set 5, but it definitely felt like it. And in game 3, they wanted to take it home, and they absolutely just took it home. And just a beautiful performance from, honestly, everybody who was on stage today. GG's to everyone who played at LANADA.
Yeah, I think on that note, I really cannot express my gratitude enough to have the privilege of being at such an event so, air quotes, late in the game's lifespan. You guys watching the stream, showing up in person, whatever you do to engage with this community is super important, and you have more impact than you give yourself credits for. So thank you for everyone for showing up, the TOs for putting this whole thing on. Shout out Toph, shout out Psyche, shout out Sanditi, shout out Ether, shout out Casters, shout out everyone. I don't have the laundry list in my head, I'm sorry, but thank you everyone for making such a good event. But yeah, shout out to your champions, shout out to your runners-up, everyone getting paid in some way, shape, or form for participating in this game specifically. So that is a win if you ask me.
No, absolutely. Well played to everybody in Grands and everybody at the LAN event. That does conclude LANADA, the first ever LAN event in Omega Strikers history to be placed in Canada. It was a pleasure to be here. It was a pleasure to be kidnapped on the cast, and I had a great time. It was a pleasure to be able to cast Grands. It was such a heater. I lost my voice. I did karaoke earlier. I feel whenever I'm yelling, I can feel it peaking, my voice peaking, not even the microphone. The spirits were high today, man. The energy was high. The vibes, they were immaculate. I am so happy to be able to be here. And this is the first LAN event I've ever been to. I had a blast, and I'm sure everybody else who was here also had a blast. But with that being said, I don't know if we have a post-show or anything.
Gotta be an interview, surely an interview.
I want an interview, but again, I'm not the person in power to be able to make that decision.
True.
But that does close out the casting block. Thank you everybody who tuned in. Thank you for everybody who showed up at the LAN event, and thank you for everybody who played. Shout out to all the, everybody in Grands. It was a banger series. But with that, we do have to say goodbye. So, see you guys later. I think we're on here for a little longer.
I think we're on the air for a bit longer. A little bit of prod hijinks.
Hey, what's up, guys?
I know, usually in these situations, you're supposed to just, maintain a wave and there's, a general fade out, but that seems a little corny.
Yeah, it's kind of boring, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is a little boring.
What if we just talked a little bit more instead?
Okay, what was your favorite part of this LAN?
My favorite part about the LAN? Honestly, I just like talking to people low-key. Karaoke might have been my favorite part.
That is
that was a banger. By the way, guys, first time ever karaoke, but I think Prod is back in action, so yeah, we're gonna have to go for
Yeah,
that
we
for
should.
this time.
We should be.
See
Okay,
ya, guys.
bye for real.
See ya.
Bye-bye. Okay, no time. I mean, first all, congratulations on claiming Canada's first ever LAN. And as cliche as it is, first question is going to be, how are you guys feeling?
I'm feeling great, you know. I mean, got second with Hungry Boy last LAN, so to go into this one and finally win it feels really good.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't have said it better. We left it a little bit short at Denver. Came back this summer with Leo. I mean, put up a good fight today, so no complaints from me. I'm feeling great.
I'm hyped. I mean, hey, July 13th, 2023 is the last time Leo Leon has ever won a tournament.
Damn.
2 years, 11 months, and 15 days.
Did you write?
Move the mic closer.
Okay, I mean, I only have so much range. Okay, this is as close as it's gonna get. Okay, yeah, we all little like team huddle, y'all are all friends. Okay, there we go. Okay, we got a gesture from Prod that all is well, so this is gonna be good. Okay, what I will want to say is, did you have that fun fact written on the back of your lanyard?
I wrote it before I met you.
That beast, I like that. I like that. Is that one of your many mantras to keep you motivated?
Yeah, because everyone thinks I suck.
Who thinks you suck?
Everyone.
You just won. You just won an S tier. What do you mean, bro? But there you go. Yeah, W. I mean, you were better than, I guess, better than 22 other brawlers, 23 other brawlers. So there you go. Big money moves. What I will say, this is something that's particularly prescient in my mind, is that when you guys went, oh wait, Prod, hello? What's up?
Do you have enough space to like? Oh, you have so much space.
I have giga space. Okay, how's this?
Just rotate your mic when you're speaking.
Okay, like so. Okay.
Yeah, there's like a front.
Okay, there's a front. Okay.
Oh, I see.
We keep things professional here at Off the Wall Esports. In any case, okay, I am going to revert from the top. So, you guys, this was not a flawless 2-0, obviously. You guys did drop a game. Was a heater of a game, but it was a loss nonetheless. You guys, after coming out of that, took a hot minute to ready up for the drafter. So I'm wondering what was going on in the mind there, such that you somehow managed to turn it around.
I mean, it's these, yeah.
Little bro was sitting, watching Leo and I just type at each other away in our Discord, just talking about potential bans, potential picks, just like problems that we may run into. I mean, eventually we just decided, do what we do best and just fight back. And it seemed to work out pretty well.
Yeah, and to second what Hungry's saying, a lot of our draft today, and notoriously with LANs, it's like melee goalies are always the top picks. Everyone's gonna pick melee goalie. Luke, thankfully, I think played Dubu literally the whole day. Literally the whole day it was Boo. So we had ideas of what they might want to pick Ben. Like, we have full respect for that team. We know that they like certain things against the melee goalies. We know they like certain things on night market, on keys, whatever. So Hungry and I are just typing away in our little Discord, just trying to get everything all streamlined. And then Luke's just like going Subway Surfers mode, just chilling. But yeah, just a lot of back and forth from Hungry, a lot of giving respect to our teams. We did a lot of homework in between matches. But yeah, we really want to win.
I mean, that gets me into my next question. I don't know if you'll watch this back, but on cast, we were kind of like freaking out about the fact that you were just allowed to play the same character this whole day. Every game I've seen you, were you on any other character all day?
I think today, I don't think there was ever a game where I'm not on Dubu, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So, I mean, what does that do to the mental to just know you can do the same thing unpunished time and time again?
I mean, it's like, if you're never going to ban it, I'm just going to keep locking it in. As we know, melees are OP at LAN, so I was like, hey, I kind of wanted to play Atlas here and there, but that never happened, so I was like, hey, I'll take the Dubu, and it worked out in the end, so.
Amen. I mean, yeah, look, winner's medal around your neck. Yes, I gotta ask, this is a handsome payday. What's one thing you'll spend the money on? We'll start over here.
Gambling. Let's go gambling.
Okay.
Gambling?
I don't know what the age of majority is here, but it's lower, so maybe bring some friends with
Let's
you.
not go gambling.
True. Yeah, true. We should not endorse that. Okay, what about you?
I'll probably get some food, some McDonald's, because actually throughout the whole LAN, bro, we were going to Don's 5 times. I swear throughout the whole day we kept going there, so I might have to reward myself with some more.
There's one, literally, you said the one that's right there, right?
Yeah,
3 yards down, low key. LAN McDonald's after party, hell yeah. Okay, what about you?
I'm gonna pay homage to Barcode. I'm gonna pay off some cards. I gotta pay off some credit cards. We gotta make sure we make good financial decisions, and then after that, we make bad financial decisions to get a tattoo.
So we got a gambler, a feaster, and a responsible adult. I guess that is the makings of a championship-winning team right there. I think another thing that's worth noting, your parents are here, aren't they? How did that come about?
I mean, my parents are like the best. Shout out mom and dad because they were willing to drive me to this LAN. They stayed out and showed up to my games. I mean, it means a lot just to see them there. So I was really happy to see them, and I'm really glad to get this win for them because they do a lot for me, and I'm glad that I was able to come here because of them. So.
And then, I mean, that's a good segue. I think now the floor is yours. Do y'all have any shout-outs? Can be anyone, provided I guess it's not someone that's, like, super evil. But, like, yeah, I mean, generally, like, any praise you want to heap on anyone, now is your time. I'll start over here.
I mean, shout out to everyone that we've been scrimming with over the past, 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows it's not very fun in the RTF scrim, but the people who stuck it out with us and just kept playing, like, big shout out to them. Big shout out to Huss and Fresh and Katsuna. They played a great game. That's it for me.
Enough. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, shout out pretty much like everyone that I met at LAN. It was always cool to see people and come up to me and like chat about anything. So yeah, shout out everyone. Shout out all my competitors. I mean, I think just having so many people come here for LAN is really sweet. So it's cool to see everyone out here like that.
Yeah, I mean, my teammates, my friends and family, everyone who's so supportive, everyone who's still sticking around to OS, everyone with the patch councils, WA for dropping by giving us a raffle, everyone who's still part of this little community who still gives back. And for me, a super boomer who's been playing this game for like 3 years, whatever, I appreciate everyone who sticks around and stays. And especially, shout out all the scrim bots, because I love scrimming. So anyone who likes to fill, anyone who can make it here, thank you for supporting the game. I appreciate everybody.
Awesome. The OS Unks get it done. In any case, before we sign off, any closing remarks from any of you? Can be anything, just like no slurs, I guess.
I think we all got one.
Okay.
We still have another one.
Is it like a... Oh, true. Okay.
There's
more coming.
There's more coming. Care to
Watch the logo.
Watch the logo.
That zero's gonna turn into a 1 real quick.
Okay.
Turn into a 2.
Sure. Okay. Why not? In any case, would you all care to sign off with your IGNs before we get done? Before we head out here.
I'm Hungry Boy, signing off.
Luke, signing off.
Unc Leo, signing off.
Only one of you showed the back of your jerseys. I think that was the whole point of that. Oh, true. That's tough as bricks. Do that during the group photo. That is imminent. How about that? That would be tough. Okay. In any case, I think that concludes this interview. Thank you all to everyone who came out, made LANADA special, and for those of you watching live, please pull up for the team photo. It's great for optics if it looks like we have a huge crowd. So I don't care if you're a spectator, I don't care if you're like some random, pull up, please. Okay, anyways, that should be it from us. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.